and we want to tap in on, what's happening on the planet, been prophesied many thousand, tens of thousands of years ago. Our people had already mapped out the cosmological clock, of all type of, weather patterns and, of the planet Earth, geological patterns of the planet Earth, and geological, geographical patterns based on, location in the cosmos that it changes. The planet changes. It becomes colder in certain regions. In certain regions, it becomes hotter. You see, it becomes hotter, and this planet is getting hot as hell, and it ain't got nothing to do. That's why they trying to put all them damn chemtrails out there. They trying to put them damn chemtrails out there because they want to block that sun. That's really what it boiled down. Don't let them tell you nothing different because that's the reality. They trying to block that damn sun. Let me make sure. Okay, there you go. Yeah, and so you see them out there zigzagging and shit. They knew this time. Why you think they been doing it? It's been getting hot all along, and so as you move further into the house, the cosmic clock has been ticking and it's moved into that zodiac house on the great year. The great year is the solar elliptical. You got the earth moving around the sun. That's 365 days. You feel what I'm saying? But then you got the sun on its elliptical. Both of them is spinning. And so the sun is on its elliptical, going around an even greater sun. That's how this go. This is an infinite universe. You feel what I'm saying? And so, to my understanding, based on science, that the solar elliptical is about 24,500 years, with each zodiac, 12 zodiac, being 1,200 years. You see what I'm saying? Being 1,200 years. And so we're moving in an age, and it seems like we're on the cusp. And a cusp is right, where you in between. You're actually moving from one house into another, and the cusp is like where you get a little bit of this house and a little bit of that house at the same time. Right there on that dividing line between the two houses, it'll be like a aura. It's almost like an aura where you can get a in between of both houses in that. So what you'll see, like right now, is hot, but it might get back cold a little bit in the winter, and then as it moves further into the house, you see it's gonna get hotter and hotter and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and watch next year and come back to this, and we'll see if I'm right. That this will, and you will see. You got this. This is how you study the cosmology. I'm studying. I'm watching. This is extreme. This is extreme right now. For it to be this goddamn hot, it's extreme. So what is making it this hot? It ain't no goddamn magnifying glass out in space, right? And so now listen to these prophecies. Let's listen to these prophecies. This is Isaiah 20. This is Isaiah 60, verse 20. It says, the sun shall no more go down. The sun shall no more go down, neither shall the moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. So when it say right there, see, well, you got to see right there when it says the sun is God. The sun is the most powerful symbol in the cosmos that reflect the power of the creator. It's not the sun, but the whole of the universe is the creator. You see, the seen and the unseen, so, but the sun is the most powerful symbol in our galaxy that we could see, that we identify with the Most High. You see, so when it says God in the Bible, all you have to do is take God out and put SUN. When it says the Lord, you could take, if you take the Lord out and put the SUN, and then when it's talking about Jesus, the SON, and you take the SON out and put the SUN, everything will start to come to fall into a place. You will get all type of chambers will begin to open up when you do that alone. That alone will change the game. You know, they don't want you to do that. But anytime if you look at religion, anytime you want to know when an individual is holy, holy prophets, holy men and women, holy saints, and all you have to do is see a halo. If you see a halo behind the head of anybody in Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hindu, that means they are holy. So it's the sun that give you divinity. You should know that by now. I taught y'all that a long time ago. When you got the solar disk behind your head, that's when you divine. And you can find that in all religions. You know why? Because all religions come out of ancient Egypt. And people say, oh, the Egyptians did not have religion. You're wrong. The Egyptians did have religion. Yes, they did have religion. Religion is spirituality plus institution. White people didn't have no institution. They wouldn't have known how to write books. When you start talking about most religions got a book. They got a holy book. That's the one thing. How the hell did the white man create books with our African people? So how could he have a religion unless we first had religion? We was the first one with holy books. Holy days. We had holy days in ancient Egypt. Days that were holier than others. You see, we had certain days where you couldn't you had certain days where you couldn't eat, and then some animals you could not eat. You could not kill. You could not kill a falcon. If you killed a falcon, you was put to death. Period. You was put to death. So you couldn't go out and kill the sacred animals. You know what I'm saying? Certain animals you could kill, but it was a season for that. It was a season. But a falcon, I think an ibis, I don't know. I believe many of them sacred zoo types you could. That's religion. When you begin to organize it, and because spirituality is freestyling. That's what spirituality. You freestyle. You don't have no rules and regulations. But when you start to organize it, this is my book. This is my book. So you got the book of Ptahhotep, the book of Imhotep. You got certain scriptures that guide you. You see, they're just like when you look at certain, like the book of gates, and you got 12 gates, and that's in the tomb of Seti, where you go through, as you ascend into the netherworld, you come to 12 gates. And each gate you come to, there's a question that's asked you, and then you got to respond. You can't go there and say what you want to say. And so what they would do is they would write the answers on the papyrus. If you had money, you was given a papyrus, and on that papyrus, it was like a blueprint for the soul to open up when it get into the underworld, and it's a hack. It's a hack. You know what I'm saying? It's a hack. And so when you get to the gate and the God has asked you, a question, then you got your scroll right there. That's religion. That's not just spirituality. Spirituality is freestyling. But when you begin to add structure to it, literature, you got a temple. What's the difference? I mean, you got a temple. Spirituality is in out in the open. That don't make religion wrong. It just meant that our people had advanced the spirituality. The concepts had become so many that was advanced concepts dealing with the cosmos. They wrote it down. They started to write it down. They got so many advanced concepts. They began to write it, what you supposed to do, so you can retain the information. You see, so we have religion and spirituality. And there's no way you're going to tell me white people created religion when they didn't have no alphabet, they didn't have no writing utensils, they didn't have none of it. They didn't have no temples. Everything that they learned from African people, even the concept of religion. And we told them that that day would come. And it's in Isaiah, and we already did that one where it says, wait a minute. In Revelations 22:5 said, and there shall be no night there. Talking about, you know, what they call the New Jerusalem or the new. And I'm all right. People don't even know about that. Jerusalem was named after Jebus, which was an African, and that's crazy. You could go in the Bible and see where Jerusalem come from Jebus, which was a Canaanite. The Canaanite supposed to be cursed, and one of Canaan's sons' name was Jebus. And you go in the Bible, it'll tell you Jerusalem, that which is Jebus. And they still the new now instead of them, you know, naming God's new city after Israelite, they say the New Jerusalem. I say, well, damn. I thought the Canaanites was cursed. Why do you continue to use Jebus? Why do you continue to use Jerusalem, which is Jebus? You say the New Jerusalem. Why haven't you come up with an Israelite name for God's city? That's because it ain't God. It ain't an Israelite. All of that shit is African refurbished, refurbished religion. But the one thing about it is that they were told that this age of Ra would come, and I'm gonna read this last one for you. Wait a minute. And can't nobody save them. Can't nobody save them. I think I just went past. I think I just went past. Yeah, it's up here. It's up here. It's up here. I'm gonna clean this out because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. There you go, right there. Psalms 84, I'm going to keep saying it. Psalm 84:11. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of righteousness arise with healing in his wings. Another man's healing is another man's killing. You see what I'm saying? One man's heaven is another man's hell. Y'all better wake up. You better know your own destiny in divinity so you can understand where you stand in this new coming age of, for many, a solar Armageddon, but for many, it's a comedic baptism, solar baptism. For one is a solar Armageddon, for another is a solar baptism. Do your research, family. Understand your destiny. This is your day that's coming, and you need to, you need to rejoice in the second coming of the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? Who is the Lord? The S-U-N. I'll see y'all in a minute, family. Click that link down there, Patreon, General Seti, also kingseti.com, General Seti, Etsy, One Stop. Y'all know what it is, family. Boom, Black Power.